welcome to the Your Natural Healer channel. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Tammy. Before we get started, I was going to be on video, but I was like, most of what I'm going to talk about today, and today is the Tuesday tip. You're going to need to see things, not me. So I thought, well, I'll just set up and go from there. You can see my hands. Anyway, I'm going to grab my crystal ball here. I'm going to be really careful with this because if it broke, I would cry. And let you guys kind of stare into the crystal ball. But anyway, welcome to my channel. If you are not already subscribed, please do so. I know my current subscribers probably get sick of hearing me say it. But it doesn't matter who the YouTuber is. If you watch their videos, hit that subscribe button. You can turn off notifications so it's not blowing up your phone. But man, that YouTube algorithm is really real. And, there's a lot that goes into a YouTube channel. So please always subscribe, give a thumbs up. And if you leave a comment, just be kind. There's too much negativity in the world. All right. So again, don't forget to subscribe. All right. I'll shut up about that now. So the Tuesday spiritual tip is something new that I'm starting. I'm, wanting to get a lot more content on here. Still currently working on getting the laptop fixed, but it is at the repair shop. So just please keep your fingers crossed. I'm manifesting good things. All right. So with that being said, we are going to talk about something it is important in spirituality. And I really fought it when I first got into spirituality. And you see the red in there? I'm sorry, I'm digressing for a second. I don't know if that's like carnelian or what that got when, the piece of quartz was being formed. But anyway, isn't my crystal ball beautiful? My husband did a good job. All right. So anyway, let me set that. Actually, I'm going to put it back because we're going to get into this. So the tip Tuesday, we're not going to do the Reiki hug. I know. This is not going to be a really long video. This is just to get some content out there to help you in your journey. Okay. So today we are going to talk about journaling. You can't see them all here. Let me move the tripod back. Journaling. I know. Trust me. In the beginning, when I was beginning my spiritual journey, my first Reiki teacher, she was always talking about journaling. And, I kind of rolled my eyes. I used to love to write when I was younger, but not so much the last maybe 10, 15 years. I think technology has a lot to do with that, to be honest. But anyway, no matter what kind of courses I've taken, I always hear journal. And, one of my current mentors, he really is big into journaling, and he kind of showed his journal a little bit, and I was so inspired, and I was like, okay, maybe he's on to something, and he really is. So if you hate to write, come on, guys, you have 10 minutes a day. We all do. We waste so much time on Facebook and YouTube and Twitter and what else? Instagram and Snapchat, Xbox, PlayStation. What's the other console? I'm a gamer. I should know this. Switch. Oh, but Twitch is one too. Twitch, the Nintendo Switch, our TV, whether we're on Netflix or Tubi we waste so much time on technology. So you have 10 minutes. If I do, I know you do too. Excuse me. So with that being said, we're going to have a quick discussion today about journaling. Now, this one is just a plain old notebook. We're going to come back to this guy. Now, this one isn't it so pretty? This is relatively new. This is my dream journal. And, it's pretty. It's got the little tab in here. I'm not going to show you any of my crazy dream writings. But what you want to do with this is if you're someone into, and you don't even have to be doing lucid dreaming or anything like that. But if you really want to start remembering your dreams, especially if you're really into wanting to receive messages from, your guides and your spiritual team, dream journaling is the way to go. Because sometimes you'll have a dream, it might seem absolutely weird to you, and then maybe a week later you go, oh, I know I dreamt about that. And then you can't remember anything about it. So if you have the dream journal, you can write it down. I keep this on my nightstand. So first thing in the morning when I get up, if I remember my dream, I write it down before I do anything else. Well, I wake up, slap the alarm around a little bit, take a few deep breaths in, say a few things I'm grateful for, and then I write in my dream journal. And what you write is up to you. The more detailed you can be, the better. I like to, anything that I remember, people, places, things, how I was feeling, colors, smells, foods, shapes, signs, names, numbers, anything, symbols. I have dreamt symbols before, and I'll wake up in the morning and I draw it, and I have one symbol. For the life of me, I cannot find it anywhere online. I even found a website that you can upload your symbol into, and it didn't have a record of it, but it's really cool. And like I said, especially if you get into lucid dreaming, this is even more wonderful, because lucid dreaming is super, super, super cool. And we could talk about that another day. But anyway, your dream journal, keep it by your nightstand. Write every little detail you can remember. Make sure you date it. And you always have it for reference. And there'll be times when maybe I didn't dream anything and I don't write, or at least I don't remember my dreams, and I don't write in it for a few days. I think I've gone even a week without writing in it, and that is totally fine. But like I said, once you get to that point in your spiritual journey where you start noticing synchronicities, start opening yourself up to receiving messages from your guides and your angels and your whole spiritual team, you're going to really want this journal, because you may be looking for guidance for something and not realize that you already have the answer. And then you may go, oh, wait, I dreamt about this 3 weeks ago. Oh my gosh. And you go back through your notes and, you go through your dream, and maybe something kicks in of what you should or shouldn't do, or how you should or shouldn't handle something. So dream journal, very, very, very important. One thing real quick though, and I do this with everything. So, well, definitely my crystals and my tarot and oracle cards and anything that I use in my spiritual practice, candles, anything. Always clean your tools before you use them. I don't mean each time, but when you first get your dream journal, I'm sorry, I'm stretching. Get your Palo Santo and light it up, and just take it all around your book to remove any negativity, because this book is going to pick up the energy, because objects do. It's going to pick up the energy of the people who made the book, the people who packaged the book, the people who sold the book, the postal worker that handled the package. Excuse me. So, always make sure you clean your tools. That's something else. That's a great discussion we can have one week too. So anyway, that's your dream journal. I'm going to set that over. I'm going to set it. Sorry. Excuse me. I've got too much stuff on my workspace. All right. The next is, this is a new one I am just going to start today. I keep a meditation journal. I actually carry this with me I have a bag I take to work, because I always have tarot cards and crystals on me. Excuse me. Sorry, this cough is still here, but it's getting better. a meditation journal. And I don't use it just only for meditation. I meditate every day. I try to meditate twice a day, in the morning and at night. That doesn't always work out. Sometimes I do hit that snooze button way too many times. But what I do with this, again, I clean it. And then after my meditation, I'll write down what happened, how I felt, what I saw. Excuse me. In one of my dream journals, I was working on my 8th chakra, and I was listening to, and I had earbuds in because I prefer, if I listen to music while I'm meditating, I like either my headset from my Xbox or my earbuds in. I was listening to this one channel that I subscribe to on Facebook for meditation music. And I was seeing the most incredible light show. And anyway, it was totally incredible. It was one of the best meditations I've ever done. And, I wrote down the date and I wrote down the time and where I did the meditation. Cause like every now and then I'll do it in the living room. If I'm feeling lazy, but I usually do it up here in my meditation room. But I'll write down where I was, if I listened to a YouTube channel, what channel, which music I listened to, and then what was my intent. If my meditation was shadow work, I'd write that down. If it was chakra work, I'd write that down. If I was meditating for answers, if I was trying to connect to my guides, just whatever. You can meditate for anything. If you really had no reason and you were just meditating to quiet your mind, I'd write that down. And then when I'm finished the meditation, I write down anything I saw, anything I heard, whether it's faces, I've drawn what I've seen, and I'm not a drawer. I'm not an artist. But anything like that. And if I've even wrote down when I'm not perfect, I've done meditation sessions where I have complete monkey mind, and I've written that down, all that information, what I was listening to, blah, blah, blah. And I'll just write in big capital letters, monkey mind. But it's a great tool, again, especially like I said, if you have a meditation that just didn't work for you, obviously don't want to listen to that particular music again, or like the one that I use for my soul star chakra. That one, I don't always go to that, but that is one of my favorite ones, especially if I'm really feeling like it's not balanced. But anyway, the reason why I carry it with me every day is because if I notice any synchronicities for the day, because like I said, usually I start it out in the morning. If not, then it doesn't get started till the evening. But if for some reason, let's say I go to work and I don't know, maybe I hear a song on the radio and it brings up some emotion. And then I hear a name that's associated with what that was. Any synchronicity throughout the day, I will write down, because there's been numerous times when that has happened to me where I see like 11:11, and my angels and my guides are definitely waving the flag going, Tammy, pay attention. And I pay attention, I acknowledge it, but then I forget all about it. And then when I do try to remember it, it's like, gosh, darn it, I should have wrote it down. So anyway, throughout the day, I write down anything I see. So like if it's 10 o'clock in the morning, and like this one cool thing one day, it was when I was really working on connecting with my angel guides and my guardian angel, and her name is Amber, by the way. I was trying to connect with my guardian angel, and I was having a really difficult time doing it. Every time I do the meditation, it was like nothing. It wasn't monkey mind, just nothing. And I was just like, this isn't working. Maybe I don't have one. Well, I was at work and the phone rang, and I picked up because I have a cordless phone. And I look at the name on the phone, and the name was Angel. I'm sorry, I don't believe in coincidences. And, you can believe in coincidences, but I was like, are you kidding me? So I hurried up, got my phone, took a picture of it, and I still have that picture on my phone. So that told me not to give up. And then right after that, a couple meditations later, I was finally able to start connecting. So again, it's really, really cool. And especially if you need to go back and look at things, because like I said, you may experience something and not know what it was. Like once I heard a female's voice give me a name, and I'm not going to repeat it or anything. And so I was like, oh, well, maybe that's the name of like somebody on my spiritual team. You know, one of my, whether it's an angel or a scribe or what have you. And so I wrote it down, and like I said, I just assumed it because I Googled the name, and it's not a common name, but there was a lot out there. And I wasn't getting any more information on it. And then in another meditation session that I was doing, it came through to me that it was just somebody trying, an entity, you know, whether it was somebody that passed on or what, that was trying to reach out to me for whatever reason. And I didn't know it at the time. But anyway, it's things like that as you progress throughout your journey, writing it down. And I mean, what I was going to say, writing it down is really important, really critical. If you really don't care and you're not that into your journey, that's fine. But if you're really serious about your journey, I'm telling you, a meditation guide or daily spiritual guide or spiritual diary is the way to go. And the only reason I keep it separate from my dream journal, because I had one I started doing together, is that it was hard to sift through. Where at least with my dream journal, I know this is just dreams, and where I know this is just things that I experienced during my meditation. And I don't want to have to, I mean, that's a lot of pages. I don't want to have to sift through all that. If I know it's a dream, I want to be able to go right to this book, and it's less pages I have to worry about. Okay? So those two are of vital importance. I can't stress that enough to you. All right, now this one, I'm going to decorate the color, and I was going to redo it and get a nice journal like that, but I was like, oh, what the heck? I'm just going to do it. So I'm not going to show you any, this is relatively new. I'm not going to show you what I've written on it because I don't want it on camera. This is very, very personal. But my, excuse me, one of my mentors will say, his name's Fred, and his book was entitled, Getting to Know Fred. I think it was like Getting to Know Fred or Discovering Fred or something to that extent. And I was like, it was really a good idea. And especially working on myself. And, you know, I'm not going to try to get into all of my spiritual journey. But I will put out there because, you know, I want you to know that I am not perfect and I don't pretend to be perfect. And, you know, I'm not some Buddha or anything like that, by no means. But I have over the years, well, I've always been very self-conscious about myself. Never felt like I was good enough or as good as my friends or as good as, you know, the other people in my life. And there's a lot of, we all have issues. We all have issues. And that's not just the only thing, but, you know, it's like, okay, well, where did that first start? And so I said, you know what, with my book in, you know, finding or discovering Tammy, which I haven't gotten my name for mine yet. So I am going, maybe once I get it to where I want, I'll show you guys once I get my title. I don't want to copy off of Fred, but I started with some memories as a child. And I will say when I was a young girl, especially in early grade school, I used to get bullied constantly. I can remember first and second and third grade, it was like every day I would get beat up and for no reason. And it sucked. And while I always thought, oh, that made me stronger, I don't think I really ever faced it. I mean, I really never talked to anybody about it. So this is almost like a personal therapist, I guess. So, and it's almost like doing that shadow work. And, you can write whatever you want in this. I've written about the experiences as I've remembered them, how I feel about that, how those experiences made me feel, the people involved. There was one bully in my book. I wrote a letter to them in my book. And while they may never get that letter, I forgive them actually now. I'm not going to waste any more of my energy. I mean, I am 52 years old, and first grade, what? You're 6 years old, 7 years old. So for over 40 years, I've let this bother me. Well, you know what? Damn it, no more. No more. So Fred really inspired me to do this, and I am finding it so helpful. I don't write in it every day. It's just whenever I feel the need that something comes up or I need to address something. And actually, my last entry was like 2 days ago. And I'm actually going to do some self-healing Reiki for myself for this that I wrote about. So you can so what I'm saying with this is a great way if like I said, we all have bad memories, whether we were made fun of or teased, or maybe we were the bully, maybe we were the mean girl. And maybe you feel bad about that now. And, you can't go back and change things. But at the same time, you need to learn to forgive yourself. You need to learn to forgive others. And sometimes it's impossible to do that because you don't talk to or have contact with that person. But this has been a great way for some self-introspection. Learning some things about myself. And it really is making me feel a little lighter, happier, I guess. And I'm not saying I thought of these things all the time. Subconsciously, I'm sure I did. But I don't anymore. And the fact that I'm even sharing this with you, oh my gosh, that is huge. Excuse me. Oh, I'll be so glad when this cough is gone. It's almost gone. I would say I'm 95% better. But anyway, if you haven't done something like this, I really suggest something like this. And it doesn't need to be all woe is me, boo-hoo-hoo, what's wrong with me? Write in it. I can't wait till I get to the part where I'm going to write about the great things about myself. What's so wonderful about me? And it's okay. That's not egotistical. There is a difference between loving yourself and being egotistical. So I'm sure I'm going to fill this up quickly, and I bought 2 of them. So this is going to be my first one. Then I'll have my second one, and I hope I find a third one the same color. But again, it's a great therapeutic tool. It's great because spirituality, oh, love and light, namaste, I love you, all of that. That is, sure, yes, that's what we want. But you got to remember, we are souls having a human experience. And we have to work on that shadow self to get to enlightenment. And the shadow work sucks, You don't want to admit to yourself if you were a mean, nasty person that you were a mean, nasty person. Nobody wants to talk about those things. And nobody wants to talk about when they were beat up every day. Sorry if my camera was crooked. I just had to pause the cough. But I guess my point is with this one is this is the one that when I write in it, I really try to take some me time because like with the dream journal, that's first thing in the morning. That doesn't take really long. Meditation journal, I try to do that immediately afterwards. Sometimes I can't do it right away, but I try to do it as quickly as I can. If I'm sitting down watching the news, I'll do it during the commercials. But this one, I make sure my cell phone is on silent. I might play some meditation music in the background. I make sure that nobody's going to bother me. And I take 15 minutes and I just write about whatever comes to my mind. And sometimes the whole 15 minutes is about the one thing. Sometimes it goes off on 1, 2, 3 tangents. Okay? So again, my point being is this type of notebook, why it's kind of, I guess, like a diary, but it's not the Dear Diary, today is Friday and I went to the pizza shop with my friends and I didn't eat any pepperoni today because I'm on a diet. And little Sammy smiled at me and I think he likes me. You know, it's not that kind of a diary. This is a journal. You just write. And some of the things I haven't even gone back and reread. I may eventually do. I'm sure I will. But I don't know. If you really are working on yourself, your inner self, really working on your spirituality, trying to become whole, man, you can't go wrong with this. Fred was right with this book. Okay? So, I don't want to make this longer than a half hour. Excuse me again. So, hold on, I'm going to pause a second. Okay. So, again, your tip for Tuesday, have you can call it your self-reflection book, your shadow log, your shadow self book, whatever you want to call it. I wouldn't just focus it though, I think, on shadow, because like I said, I can't wait to start talking about things that are great about me and things that are great about my life and the things that I'm thankful for and all that, which I do every day anyway. I always try to show thanks and gratitude. Dream journal, whether or not you lucid dream, if you're really trying to understand things and get messages from your spiritual team, dream journal. Meditation journal. Again, it's a great way, again, to get messages, to see what you've worked through. This can play into this. It can play into this. They can all play into each other. So, but instead of having it in one book, it's 3 books, is a lot. But like I said, I carry my meditation journal with me. So to carry all 3 of them, if it was one big book, would be ridiculous. But anyway, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. And I know you're saying, oh, writing sucks. And it's not the first thing that I want to do or how I really want to spend my off time. But I'm telling you guys, they're fantastic tools. Okay. So, with that being said, I just wanted to share, about journaling with you. And I hope everybody has a fantastic week. And thank you so much for watching. Thumbs up, kind comments. Remember, kind. And that's for any YouTube channel. Subscribe. You can follow me on Facebook at Your Natural Healer. Also go to www.yournaturalhealer.com and hit the services and you'll see, there's at least 25 different things that I offer between Reiki and numerology and birth charts and oracle readings and specials for the month or holidays or what have you. Go on, check it out, see if there's something of interest to you. And I am going to be quiet now and I'm going to go meditate. So I need this journal. And I wish you all a fantastic day filled with love and light. And until we meet again, namaste, my friends. Go live your best life. Remember, though, do it the natural way. Bye.